Part 1, Question 5, Article 5, whether the essence of goodness consists in mode, species, and order. First, some definitions from a dictionary of scholastic philosophy. Consist means to be made up of. Mode, what is a mode? It is a manner of being. Species, genus and specific difference. Order, arrangement according to a principle. When thinking of mode, think of a sleep sofa transforming from bed mode to couch mode, or just a transformer, the toy, going from being a robot to being a car and then back again. Is goodness like that? Does it have distinguishable, identifiable forms, specieses, arrangements? And what would be the other option? Well, you could ask Plato, that ultimate good, the form of the good, the sun, into which the philosopher stumbles. You know the philosopher I'm talking about, who's originally locked in a cave watching projections on a wall, but is able to get out of the cave and into the real world to see the sun and the form of the good. Augustine, who was often a fan of Plato, had a different view of the form of the good. Quote, "These three, mode, species, and order, as common good things, are in everything God has made." Thomas interprets that for us, therefore, the essence of goodness consists in them, in mode, species, and order. Objections 1 and 2 center on perhaps the best-known quote from the Book of Wisdom, "Thou hast ordered all things in measure, and number, and weight." Weight? Doesn't that support Augustine? Might seem like it does. The objection is subtle, but it has to do with the distinction between goodness and being. Objections 3 and 4 center on evil. If you could have a sofa mode or a couch mode, could you have an evil mode? Well, if so, then how could mode itself be good? And what about light? Is it good? Well, it does not seem to have mode or species or order. Light is just light. Thomas disagrees. He remembers that being is good. Then he continues, in order for a thing to be perfect and good, it must have a form. Next, he reinterprets the passage from Wisdom chapter 11. Measure corresponds to mode, number to species, and weight to order. Everything, quote, acts towards an end, which is in accordance with its form, and this belongs to weight and order. Reply to objections 1 and 2. Mode, species, and order are beings, but not substances, because it is through them that other things are made beings and good. Evil is a lack. Thomas again quotes Augustine. Evil is being less than they ought to be, or not belonging to that which they ought to belong, being out of place. And I like the final reply here. Quote, "The nature of light is spoken of as being without number, weight, and measure, not absolutely, but in comparison with corporeal things, because the power of light extends to all corporeal things, inasmuch as it is an active quality of the first body that causes change, i.e., the heavens." We see the medieval cosmology here, and this is not Thomas being a sophist. This is Thomas taking his cosmology seriously. Light does have some sort of weight and measure. We know about wavelengths now. We know about polarization of light. We think we know so much, but Thomas remembers Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And having mode, species, and weight makes things good. Makes things good in the same way that whiteness makes things white, or that fire makes things hot. And Thomas is not arguing that the universe had to be made this way, but that God did make the universe this way. He reveals it in creation and in Scripture, and therefore measuring is a moral act.